One thing you are known for is your expertise on historical Latin pronunciation. And why is that important? And how does that affect the overall performance?
Well, I guess the first thing to say is that people pronounced Latin in those days as if it were their own vernacular. It wasn't until the 20th century that the Pope decreed that people should be pronouncing Latin according to the Italian way, and that was the only way you could do it. And of course, once the Pope says that, then that's what Catholics were required to do. But in centuries past, they simply pronounced Latin as if it were their own vernacular language. There's a story, I think, of the Emperor Maximilian, and a delegation comes to him from, I think it was France, and they have some speech or other, and he turns to his advisor and says, "What language are they speaking?" And they says, "Latin, sir." Well, he didn't even hear it as Latin because it sounded
Mm.
uh, incomprehensible. And
Maximilian the First?
yeah,
Okay.
so um, so people pronounce Latin as if it were their own vernacular, but I think that also composers set Latin in that way too. So, for example, there's a piece by, I think it's Pierre de la Rue, who is a French-speaking composer serving the Habsburg court in what's now Belgium, Mechelen and Brussels and so on. And he has a motet that says Ave Mater Miserorum. That's what we would say, Ave Mater Miserorum. And it's set rhythmically as Ave Mater Miserorum. So that is what he would say as a francophone, and that's the way the piece is set. And so you would have musicologists saying he was terrible at setting Latin, or he had no
Mhm.
concept of word rhythm. Well, of course he had concept of word rhythm. It's just that the concept of word rhythm he had was as a French speaker speaking the language, so that the accent was on the final syllable, and so that has an effect. And I think a lot of those pieces work better if you use in that case, French Latin pronunciation in order um, to show what it was that Pierre Leroux was trying to achieve with his music.